Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah.
Are you tired of driving around a dirty car? Say hello to the ultimate solution for your car. Quick Auto Detail, home, work, or wherever. Their mobile car spa will clean and shine your car anytime and anywhere. Their products are gentle on your car's paint, and they use only the highest quality materials. Book your appointment now.
Hey kids, how would you like to hear this on the screen instead of the great show you came to see? That's what you sound like. Honest. Please cooperate and do your part in keeping this theater quiet so everyone, including you, can enjoy it. Remember, lots of adults and kids, too, paid admission to enjoy the show. We must insist on absolute quiet.
All right, Vladimir, if you don't end that war in Ukraine in 50 days, I'm gonna do something very strong.
Oh, God, this again. Okay, right, cool.
What's that? Cool? I'll show you cool. Now you have 10 days. Okay, maybe 12.
Love it, can't wait.
Okay, that's it.
Ow! Holy shit! Why did you hit me? Why did you hit me?
Look, somebody's gonna pay the price for Vladimir not listening to me, and it's not gonna be me, all right?
But he is also helping Russia. More than I'd like to, less than I could.
Yeah, well, but he's, he and I were talking. It's a little, it's more complicated. It's, look, I'm just glad we're not talking about Jeffrey Epstein, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you so very much for dropping by and spending another hump day with me on Tim's Tidbits. It has been an interesting weekend, and hey, we're counting off the days of July and heading, we are now into August. Wow. Hard to believe. First week of August already. And, pretty soon we're going to be seeing some fall weather. Maybe beat some of this heat that we've been bogged down with throughout the whole month of July, actually. It got pretty bad in a whole lot of areas. And still having some wildfires up in Canada that's causing some smoke to come down and, cause a haze and a smoky atmosphere in like some of your major cities, Chicago, Cleveland, and even in the Milwaukee area. As a matter of fact, I heard that the governor of Wisconsin is contemplating suing the Canadian government for not maintaining their forests better, causing this whole wildfire situation and making it so difficult for the people of his state to breathe. And I said, well, I don't know why you just don't sue Mother Nature, but hey, if that's what he wants to do. So look, we'll follow up on if the Wisconsin governor is really going to sue the province of Canada rather. Who knows? Anyhow, hey, there's all kinds of things going on, and we'll get into that throughout the show, but there's a lot of things going on in the White House, a whole lot of changes going on in the White House, and due to the new president coming in. As a matter of fact, earlier this year, he removed the 150-year-old Jackson magnolia tree. Been standing there for 150 years, and he decided he didn't like that Jackson magnolia tree. And in the place, he put up two big, beautiful flagpoles, one on each side of the White House, that he overseen the special project that spiraled in the heights and diameters and everything that he thought was exactly necessary. Also, he did you know that he paved over the Rose Garden? The Rose Garden has been there since 1913. The Rose Garden was put into place, and the Rose Garden's gone. Apparently, from what was released by Trump, is that it was difficult for women to walk in their heels in the Rose Garden. Their heels kept sinking in to the dirt that they were walking on. So he thought it would be best just to pave it over and make it a party area or an outside reception area, what have you, at the White House. And he's also coming up with another gigantic renovation. And how about, since we've made all these cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, we've got some little extra money in the purse. How about we do a renovation to one of the wings of the White House and maybe make it into a grand ballroom, just like they had back in jolly old England when there was kings and queens.
I do have one other announcement from the White House and from the President. We are proud to announce that the construction of the new White House ballroom will begin. For 150 years, presidents, administrations, and White House staff have longed for a large event space on the White House complex that can hold substantially more guests than currently allowed. President Trump has expressed his commitment to solving this problem on behalf of future administrations and the American people. The White House is one of the most beautiful and historic buildings in the world, yet the White House is currently unable to host major functions, honoring world leaders in other countries without having to install a large and unsightly tent approximately 100 yards away from the main building's entrance. The White House State Ballroom will be a much-needed and exquisite addition of approximately 90,000 total square feet of innately designed and carefully crafted space with a seated capacity of 650 people, which is a significant increase from the 200-person seated capacity in the East Room of the White House. In recent weeks, President Trump has held several meetings with members of the White House staff, the National Park Service, the White House Military Office, and the United States Secret Service to discuss design features and planning. President Trump has chosen McCreary Architects as the lead architect, which is well known for their classical architectural design and based right here in our nation's capital. The construction team will be headed by Clark Construction, and the engineering team will be led by AECOM. The project will begin in September 2025, and it is expected to be completed long before the end of President Trump's term. President Trump and other donors have generously committed to donating the funds necessary to build this approximately $200 million structure. The United States Secret Service will provide the necessary security enhancements and modifications. The
$200 million renovation project, because every president since under the White House construction has wanted a ballroom. Why they didn't think of that from the begin with. But, hey, our renovator-in-chief, call him a renovator-in-chief since he's changing everything around there. Who knows what's coming next? Unbelievable. But yeah, our renovator-in-chief is going to put in a $200 million ballroom renovation because all the other past presidents and the presidents coming in the future are just going to love it. Anyhow, as in the way most kings operate, dictators, what have you, they like to, if they get bad news, what do they usually do? You've heard it in movies, you've heard it. They kill the messenger. You've always said, no, don't kill the messenger. Well, too bad. When I get bad news, that's how they used to, send a response back to the other, kings or throughout the land. Is, hey, I'll send you your messenger back, and that's pretty much my answer. But anyhow, The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which looks at employment rates and stuff, came out with the jobs report last week, and as not expected, especially by the Trump organization, those numbers were extremely, extremely low. Trump was not happy, so what does he do? With what most dictators do, they kill the messenger. Check it out.
This morning, the stock market rebounding amid volatility in the U.S. economy. Trump now weighing in after firing the Bureau of Labor Statistics head.
We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3-4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous.
The president continuing this morning by posting on his social media platform that last week's job report was rigged, but providing no evidence of that. The nonpartisan Bureau of Labor Statistics compiles economic data that has been used by economists, investors, and academics for nearly a century.
This is a preposterous charge. These numbers are put together by teams of literally hundreds of people following detailed procedures.
The disappointing jobs report sending stocks tumbling last week. The president's national economic advisor admitting this morning on CNBC that the jobs numbers were slower than expected.
I think that one of the explanations for revisions is they have more complete data. And so I think it is likely that the revisions are a better read of the data if the data are not being manipulated. And so yeah, I would say that it's a little bit weaker.
This comes as tariffs are set to kick in Friday, affecting nearly every U.S. trading partner. The president's executive order raising tariffs on nearly 70 countries. All countries will now face at least 10% tariffs, while others will face tariffs ranging from 15% to as high as 40%.
And you didn't think everything was more expensive enough. Okay, let's see what happens when we start paying, well, obviously, 15 to 41% more for some of the products that we may use, especially if they may be imported. I guess only if they are imported. He's not going to do that on our domestically produced products, but hey, we'll see. Anyhow, apparently another good thing that he did is in his campaign promise. One thing that the POTUS in chief is doing is he magically was able to, reduce Medicare coverage. He was able to reduce, the different benefits that we extend to our needy individuals. But he is also doing everybody a favor, and he announced it just the other day. He is lowering drug prices significantly because we pay more than anybody else in the world for our prescription drugs, and Trump is going to address this issue. And in fact, I think he said he's going to even lower it up to 1,500%.
Well, one of the things they're going to be talking about pretty soon are the tremendous drop in drug prices. We've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%, I mean 14, 1,500%. Because we're going favored nations. We want the same price as Europe gets. We want the same price as other country gets. And over the years, 25, 30 years ago, it started where they were charging us much more. And I put an end to it, with a letter that you saw last week. So I think that's going to be a point. I don't know how anybody could win an election if they're on the other side of that issue. So we'll be dropping drug prices. It'll start over the next 2 to 3 months by 1,200, 1,300, and even 1,400%, and 500%, but not just 50% or 25%, which normally would be a lot, because the rest of the world pays much less for the identical drug, and we're going to be paying the same thing. We're going to have a favored nations. We will pay as low as the lowest nation in the world.
How do you lower something 12, 13, 1,400, even 1,500%? So what I need is anybody out there that is a mathematician that can actually be able to calculate that out for me, please put it over in the comment section. Really would appreciate to see what it has to actually down below in the comment section. I'd love to see that formula. But anyhow, one of the big talks around is obviously here for the past couple of weeks is, the Epstein files. And our deputy U.S. attorney, Todd Blanche, went to the prison down in Florida to talk to Justine Maxwell. That would have been Epstein's pimp, I guess you want to call it, recruiter, pimp, for these young underage girls that they were trafficking. And now she has been relocated to a minimum security facility down in Texas. And this is after her 2-day conversation. And you can get into what that was all about, one of the past Tidbits episode, if you'd like to. You catch up with it on the YouTube site. But in any regards, obviously, after her 2-day conversation with the deputy U.S. attorney, she got carte blanche. I mean, I don't know. How do you get moved from a facility in Florida to a super luxury facility down in Texas, and you're a convicted child predator that was trafficking in minors? I mean, we'll see how all this plays out, but it'd be interesting to see, what was actually said, and will we ever hear what was said in that conversation?
A year ago, he was Donald Trump's criminal defense attorney. Todd Blanche defended Trump in the Stormy Daniels hush money trial. Trump was convicted on all 34 counts. Today, he's an assistant attorney general of the United States. What's he doing? Flying to Florida to talk with sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted in the Epstein criminal case. Here's what Donald Trump had to say about the convicted sex trafficker.
I wish her well. Whatever it is, I just wish her well, frankly.
So what do you think Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer's doing, talking behind closed doors with Donald Trump's old friend, Ghislaine Maxwell?
We don't want to comment about the substance of the meeting for obvious reasons.
Come on. Do they think we're that stupid? Maxwell knows everything. She'd love a pardon.
She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
Yeah, Donald Trump thinks we're that stupid. Release the Epstein files. Now.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, for sure. But, Justine Maxwell, what was going on? There's another, why should I say, maybe not even put up the POTUS part. Maybe we should say, inquiring minds want to know what the hell happened down there. And what was said between Blanche and Maxwell that she got moved. But anyhow, you know what? The inquiring minds do want to know, and some of the Democrats in the Senate have your back, and they want to imply what they call the Rule of Five. And let's listen to Minority Leader Chuck Schumer explain what the hell is, Tim, the Rule of Five.
And this morning, I was really proud to join every single one of my Democratic colleagues on the Homeland Committee in invoking a century-old and little-known law known as the Rule of Five to compel the Department of Justice to release the full and complete Epstein files. Under federal law, when any 5 senators on the Homeland Security Committee call on the executive branch must comply. Our request covers all documents, files, evidence, and other materials in possession of the DOJ, the FBI, related to the case of the United States versus Jeffrey Epstein. While protecting the victims' identities can and must be of top importance, the public has a right to know who enabled, knew of, or participated in one of the most heinous sex trafficking operations in history. Let me remind everyone of what's happened in recent months. Donald Trump campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. He broke that promise. Trump should stop hiding from the truth. He should stop hiding from the American people. So today, Senate Democrats took action. We're invoking federal law and using our authority as a check on the executive to compel transparency.
Yeah, we'll see what happens because, Chuck Schumer, you're right. Inquiring minds want to know what the hell is going on. Anyhow, I'll tell you what else is going on, inquiring minds, and you're not going to like it. As you know, that MAGA has made some, their Doge guys, especially with Elon, making some serious cuts in Doge. Department of Government Efficiency. And now they're doing actually some rehiring because they dug a little too deep, actually. I guess Elon got carried away with his chainsaw. And so they got to put a little bit of some of that back together. But anyhow, as we do know that one of Trump's appointees is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who likes to go swimming in pollution and has brain worms and all kinds of interesting things going on with him. But in any regard, he is, the head of our health, right? Department of Health for the United States. And he has come up with, I think, what does he call it? MAHA. MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. Instead of MAGA, it's MAHA. But in any regards, in part of this process of what he thinks, he believes, besides cutting the vaccine funding, the study funding, a couple $1 billion was taken away from the vaccine studies. You can look that up on your own. So we'll see what happens when it comes to viruses and pandemics that come around and we don't have any vaccine because Kennedy didn't think he needed it. But anyway, what else he doesn't think you need is some of the little snacks that you are chewing on, and maybe some of your sugar-flavored beverages. You don't need that, or maybe your energy drink. That is not so necessary. And how about we just remove that from your SNAP benefits? Why the hell not?
The National Mall was turned into a bustling farmers market Monday, part of the Trump administration's effort to make America healthy again.
We need to lighten up some regulations that allow way more local food to be eaten.
And the administration is going further, approving more waivers allowing states to ban certain junk foods from the list paid for by the SNAP program, formerly known as food stamps.
Today, I'm proud to sign 6 more waivers for Florida, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Colorado.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, served more than 41 million people and cost $100 billion in 2024. Before the waivers, the funds could not be used to buy products such as alcohol, tobacco, or prepared foods. In May, Nebraska became the first state to get approval to also restrict soda and energy drinks. Proponents of the waivers, including Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., say they will incentivize Americans to eat healthier.
If you want to buy a sugary soda, you ought to be able to do that. The U.S. taxpayer should not pay for it.
But industry groups like the National Grocers Association raised concerns the waivers could cause confusion among consumers, saying it's up to the government, quote, to determine whether their goals are being met without negatively affecting access to nutritious food. This year, SNAP has served a monthly average of 42 million Americans with about $188 in benefits per person.
Interesting. So yeah. So if you like your sugary drinks or maybe you want to put a candy bar on, you're not going to be using your SNAP benefits, which, hey, I understand when they cut out alcohol and cigarettes, there's no way that you should be buying, that's not supplemental nutrition, which is what it stands for. And no, I understand that part of it. But yeah, they're getting crazy and cutting so many benefits. And trying to control you in so many different ways and doing the best they can. In fact, down in Texas, there's a big there's a debate in Texas now in regards to the redrawing of district maps for election purposes. And the Republicans, they have what I would consider and the Democrats consider gerrymandering. And by that I mean they want to redraw the map of Texas so that they can gain 4 to 5 more seats in the Senate and House, which would give them another majority, being afraid obviously that they're going to lose some of these people who may or may not run, and or by the discontent of these Republican constituents in their own home state. So in any regards, the Texas Democrats, just fled Texas. And Governor Abbott and the attorney general down there are talking about maybe putting out warrants, having the FBI go get them, all kinds of craziness. But the big debate is, try to do what I guess you would consider a power grab on redrawing these district maps. And besides it being in Texas, now you see in the spillover effect even going into other states such as California. Check this whole thing out, what's going on. And this is something we should not allow. And maybe we should have independent agencies looking at redistricting if it's that necessary, because I believe that most of your redistricting is supposed to come off of your census. But this map that had been drawn by the Republicans apparently doesn't really take that into consideration.
And this just in, Texas Democrats are leaving the state in an attempt to prevent the State House from holding a vote tomorrow on new congressional maps. Republicans hope those redrawn maps will net them several additional U.S. House seats in next year's midterm elections. The rare mid-decade redrawing of the congressional map would affect major metropolitan areas, including Houston and Dallas.
All right, Houston and Dallas, and yeah, so there you are. And Trump is 100% behind it. And he said because he had such a big win in Texas that, they deserve to have those 5 extra seats. So, yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. They did the same thing here in Ohio. They tried to get and we're going to have to redraw our maps in Ohio also. They tried to put it on the ballot to have an independent agency redraw it. But the way that they put the verbiage of that particular law on the ballot, it just didn't sound right, so it didn't get voted through. And so consequently, now you still have, Republicans that may be on there, drawing this particular district map. And again, it's going to be taken to court and just tied. It's craziness, folks. But hey, it's been politics around here for how many hundreds of years we've been a country? That's what I thought. Speaking of hundreds and hundreds of years, the things that have been going on, we talked about this a little bit over the past couple of weeks, and we gave you a quick history lesson on what's going on. Back from the 1943, when the state of Israel came into a concept and declared itself a state. It was recognized, finally by the United Nations as an independent state. But anyhow, so this has been going on for a long time. We know that there's all kinds of inhumanity going on at this current time in Gaza in regards to starving people and innocent women, children getting shot, in the chaos of all this food distribution. But apparently Netanyahu has said he wants the entire area of Gaza to become Israel. And I don't think it's going to stop, folks, until that's what happens. He's just going to wipe out the people that are living there now, and it's going to be part of Israel. We'll see how many countries actually stand by and watch this inhumanity happen.
Well, tonight officials in Gaza report that dozens more Palestinian civilians have been killed or wounded near these food distribution sites while trying to get aid. This comes as the Israeli government also considering an escalation of its mission in the region following the release of those horrific hostage videos by Hamas. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yanks reports this evening from Tel Aviv.
Images of Israeli hostage Eviatar David spread around the world after Hamas released a video showing him digging his own grave. His brother Eli hopes that an agreement will be reached to bring Eviatar home, along with the other 49 hostages and 19 others whom are believed to be alive.
He should be treated as a human being and not as a puppet, not as a human skeleton.
The Israeli Security Cabinet will meet Tuesday to determine the next phase of the war, as ceasefire negotiations remain at an impasse. Local media reports that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is considering an expansion of military operations across the Gaza Strip.
We must continue to stand together and fight together to achieve all our war objectives.
the defeat of the enemy, the release of our hostages, and the assurance that Gaza will no longer pose a threat to Israel.
More supplies are being distributed throughout the enclave, with 200 new United Nations trucks distributing aid and additional airdrops taking place, with Canada and Belgium joining the cause. The humanitarian efforts remain chaotic, with dozens of people reportedly killed over the last 24 hours while seeking aid.
We don't want war, we want peace. We want this misery to end. We are out on the streets. We all are hungry. We are all in bad shape. Women are out there on the streets. We have nothing available for us to live a normal life like all human beings. There's no life.
Tonight, Israeli media reports Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu plans to have the military occupy all of Gaza. This move would require Security Cabinet approval.
So there you go. Yeah, he's not going to stop until he gets it all. Yeah. So we'll see what happens to the people that are actually the Palestinians that are living there now. And you could say that they're terrorists. They're not all terrorists. The little children, some of these women, these young girls, no, they're not terrorists. That's just, another way to label somebody you want to kill. Sad situation there. And, hey, thoughts and prayers are with you people. Anyhow, here, back in the United States, I think a couple months ago, actually, I was talking about a manufacturing facility in Napoleon, Ohio, that makes Campbell Soup Company. It was dumping raw product, disposable product into the Maumee River, which is one of the major rivers that lead out into Lake Erie here in northwest Ohio, along with the Sandusky River. But in any regards, the Maumee River has had its share of pollution. Some of it that people have caught, some of it may have been in an industrial accident. We don't have anything like oil spills. We can have, I guess, tomato soup spills, like Campbell's did. But hey, in any regards, probably one of the nastiest things you could have actually happen is that put raw sewage from your storm sewers and everything else directly into the river, going out into the Great Lakes. And what do you think's happening to the Great Lake? Well, now we're having algae blooms and a lot of other issues. But one of the contributors actually would be one of the major cities along the Maumee River. Its namesake, Maumee, Ohio. Check it out, please.
In 11 Investigates review of government documents reveals the city of Maumee illegally dumped waste into the Maumee River for nearly 25 years while officials turned a blind eye. EPA and Attorney General investigators interviewed more than a dozen employees and officials between 2021 and 2023 about the situation. Lead investigator Brian Duggar joins us tonight. Brian, what did the team find?
Yeah, we can tell you that the city quit reporting illicit discharges to the EPA in 1996, but those discharges continued for nearly 25 years. And retired council president Tim Pauken estimated that 1 million gallons of waste were discharged during that time. Now, those discharges took place during heavy rain events, with one employee saying he once operated pumps for more than 28 hours to prevent large amounts of water flooding the basements of residents. A sewer division superintendent told investigators he couldn't believe the waste was being pumped into the river, but there was no other option. He said he actually became numb to what they had to do. But multiple members of the sewer division who were interviewed said council and the mayor knew about those discharges and did nothing until 2020. Former Mayor Rich Carr, who served on council beginning in 1989 and is mayor for more than 10 years, told investigators he knew nothing about the discharges needing to be reported until Administrator Patrick Birch told him in 2020. And at various times, he told investigators he knew little about the sewer division and the Clean Water Act, worked about 4 hours a week as mayor, and it was not his responsibility to know what was going on in the city. Now, the Attorney General has completed its investigation, and we're still working to confirm whether the EPA probe continues.
Somebody playing dumb as shit, right? I didn't know that we weren't allowed to just dump raw sewage into the river. Who would have thought? Yeah. Wow, they charge, and now that kind of makes sense because another thing going on in Maumee is they're putting a huge assessment on people purchasing a new home, to where they have to have that, and they're adding and that would be regards to their sewage, the connection to the water sanitation, sewage disposal. It's getting kind of crazy, and people are just up in arms there in the city of Maumee, and now they're up in arms over the city of Maumee just dumping crap, so to speak, directly into the river that is one of the largest freshwater supplies in the world. I think actually it is. The combination of the Great Lakes is the largest freshwater supply in the world. Anyhow, hey, let's move on to something really kind of interesting that I came across. And you know that when the cops are chasing people, they may employ, what do they call that, the pit maneuver, when they try to hit the corner of your car, spin you around, or maybe down the road they got the guys that's got to throw out those little stop stick thingies, right? Puncture your tires so that you're running on flats, which is probably kind of dangerous also. But in any regards, in Michigan, in the area around Detroit, as a matter of fact, a city called Livonia, one of the suburbs, Livonia, Michigan. They're employing a new technology to stop, apprehend people who are fleeing and eluding. Check this out.
Now to Wayne County, where a high-speed chase involving an alleged drunk driver came to a safe stop in Livonia with the help of new technology. Alicia Bergio explains.
What could have been a tragic ending to a police pursuit with an alleged drunk driver ended safely in Livonia, all because of the quick action of a police officer and new technology.
We received several 911 calls in the area of 8 Mile Middle Belt regarding a potential drunk driver.
Livonia Police Captain Eric Marcotte says it was last Friday around 8 p.m. officers were dealt with an alleged drunk driver on the road.
The officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop, at which point in time the suspect vehicle fled from officers.
It was at that moment an officer nearby with what's called a grappler device on his patrol car jumped into action to bring the suspect's vehicle to a controlled stop.
Well, the grappler is game-changing technology that we've had now for a few months.
Here's how it works. The grappler is mounted to the front bumper of a patrol car. Take a look at this dash cam video. The officer gets within inches of the suspect vehicle, then deploys a strong net that wraps around the rear tire to lock the fleeing vehicle in place, ultimately bringing it to a halt.
A long device like a tether is also attached to the grappler, which is like a bungee. So as that officer is stopping, it allows the officer to take control of the suspect vehicle.
Marcotte says with the use of technology like this, authorities were able to stop 52-year-old Jason William Wise from Flint, who posed a serious threat to others.
Hands! Officer, put your hands up now!
Preventing what could have been a dire situation.
This grappler is able to give us a safer alternative rather than doing other traditional pursuit termination techniques.
In Livonia, Alicia Bergio, CBS News Detroit.
Pretty cool, huh? The grappler. So don't let them come in behind you if you're trying to outrun the Livonia police. They got this grappler. They'll grapple you. Well, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought I would share it with you. One of the other things that I thought was kind of interesting, may or may not be pretty cool, and it just so happens that, and I'll get to that next. First, I want to hit one just a little bit before I get to that. I have one on some AI apps that is available to you. But first, I want to get to this little story that I came across about the Stillwater police that detained a young woman. And it sounds like a detention that just kind of like went from bad to worse. And it ended up that the girl ended up being strip searched and left there naked in the area for quite an extended period of time, let's say. And now she is suing the Stillwater PD, but a lot of this got captured on film. And check it out. I guess we'll call this Cops Gone Stupid.
A woman is suing the city of Stillwater and their police department after she says they unlawfully arrested her and illegally strip searched her. News 4's Amaya Ward is in Stillwater tonight.
The former Oklahoma State student accuses the Stillwater Police Department of leaving her handcuffed and naked on the jail bench after an alleged unlawful strip search.
That sounds like you have a great lawsuit then.
This is how it started.
We got a call that someone was trying to fight other people. That's what we're here investigating.
Back in September of 2022, they stopped Claire Hosterman with some friends on the street. Believing Hosterman's friend matched the suspect description, the officer told the rest of the group to leave, and when they didn't, an altercation ensued.
Now, you're going to get arrested. We're not going to tell you.
For what?
Get back. Get up.
Stop. Stop. He's done nothing wrong.
The lawsuit says Hosterman's purse strap got caught in an officer's arm before an officer violently grabbed her by her hair and took her to jail for public intoxication and resisting arrest. The lawsuit claims once inside the cell, several officers, both men and women, began to remove all of Hosterman's clothing, while another male officer stood just feet away watching. The lawsuit says for 8 minutes, Hosterman was left alone, naked and hysterically crying while handcuffed and face down on the cell bench. Hosterman's attorney issued a statement Thursday saying, in part, Ms. Hosterman is committed to holding the city of Stillwater accountable and putting a stop to these horrific abuses. We urge anyone who has experienced anything similar at the jail to come forward.
That's ridiculous. And that's all because what? They told her to leave. So I guess that would, and she didn't, what, unlawful assembly, failure to comply with a lawful request. What are they going to get her with? And then what did they get for? Public intoxication? Yeah, she's going to win. That's ridiculous. What kind of a threat did she impose that they necessarily had to do a strip search? And especially with a male president like that. And actually, I can tell you from a fact, in Ohio, you have to have a certified physician, nurse, do anything to do with a strip search, and you better have probable cause to do a strip search, not just a guess. Anyhow, hey, let's do another thing, and that's what I said I was going to catch you up on, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and that is, AI. AI is taking over the world, right? And now they have this thing. It's called Showrunner. It's a new AI app, currently free, but there's the real hook to it is you can actually put yourself into some of the movies or whatever other video drops you may be watching and become a character. All you have to do is apparently take a picture and let them hear your voice, and bingo, you're
all
in
this
the
talk
movie.
about AI, how about this concept? A San Francisco startup allowing you to use artificial intelligence to not only watch new shows, but create your own shows in minutes.
Movies and TV shows are going to become playable. Showrunner is magic.
Okay, is it magic? Here are the details. The app is called Showrunner, created by a startup in the city called Fable. The company, backed by Amazon, bills itself as the Netflix of AI. Today, Showrunner launched its first AI show called Exit Valley. It's a Silicon Valley type satire featuring characters based on people like Sam Altman and Elon Musk. Not only can you watch these episodes, you can then create your own and even make yourself a character in the show. Pretty wild here. You describe what you want, wait a few minutes, and then it's ready to go. Right now, Showrunner is free, but eventually the idea is to make it a subscription. Okay, so say I want to be in the show. I just take a video of myself and upload it. I mean, how do I upload it?
Just a photo. Yeah, you just upload a photo. And you also speak for 30 seconds, and then you can be a character. And if you live in San Francisco, you can also upload your home, room by room, and you might want to make a show about you and your friends. You might also want to live out the unlived life. Maybe you've got a show about yourself with, a completely different life to the one that you have today.
Hey, well, there it is, folks. If you've ever dreamed of being in the movies or being a character, there's one way you could do it, and that sounds like a lot of detail to put out there. If you live in the San Francisco area, you can actually put your house out there in every room of your house, and you can have a party with your friends in your virtual house. Yeah. I'm telling you, interesting world we live in. And this AI stuff is crazy. And I have to sit there and admit that, yeah, some of the cartoons and different things that I throw in there for a laugh or two, yeah, they're AI generated. Let's keep it real. But anyhow, hey, let's keep it real on one thing is, dude, people out there just love what the fuck. And this what the fuck is along the lines of some of the problems that we've been having with airlines. You've seen engines catching on fire, tires blowing up, there's all kinds of problems as far as the aviation is going, the aviation industry is going. And not even as it comes to, your air traffic controllers, to your pilots, to your stewardesses, to your passengers can be total jerk-offs. But how about, I would sit there and think, sometimes one of the worst things that I hate is if the only way you're even going to fly, and I probably wouldn't fly, I'd rather take a plane, if I had to fly on Spirit. I'm not a huge fan of Spirit. In fact, the Queen and I joke about it. But then this what the fuck moment I wanted to share with you is I would almost give Spirit a reconsideration before I would fly on this. Yeah, no. Wow. Interesting communication system they had from the plane to the ground. Hey, you're good to go. We'll see you later. Good luck. Anyhow, here's another moment, another what the fuck moment. And this would be happening in Suffolk County. When they were at a funeral, they were having a funeral for a fellow officer, and apparently this police department had a canine, and the canine went crazy at this funeral and attacked an individual. Check it out.
I got it. He's good. A police dog attacking an innocent man, biting him at the funeral for the police officer killed in the Midtown mass shooting. P06670. 15 seconds of terror, starting when the dog darted out of a car. I got it. Police say the man who was attacked will be okay. The dog is with the Suffolk County Police Department. It escaped through a car door that was ajar. The incident is under investigation. He's good.
Dude, seriously, what the fuck? Can you imagine? Yeah, you're just walking along, and all of a sudden the police dog jumps out the window of the police car, comes around at you, and just starts locking on. Unbelievable. Yeah, I would say that the police department has some explaining to do. And, why was it so easy for that dog just to jump out the window? I thought most of those windows had like bars on it to prevent, anything, humans and or anything else you were transporting from just jumping out the window. What do I know? Anyhow, let's move on to another thing that everybody loves here, and that is who is going to get this week's Asshole Merit Badge. And it seems it's amazing how many times that our Asshole Merit Badge can go to a fast food employee, rather. Whether they're throwing something at you or giving you the wrong order, whatever the case may be. And maybe they want more than $15 an hour as their pay raise to sit there and take orders and hand you a hamburger. But in any case, let's look at our asshole of the week, who happens to be an employee from Sonic.
Hi, how you doing today, ma'am?
Hi. I just came through the drive-thru, and
Okay.
I was talking to a lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was extremely rude, and I was trying to explain what size shake I wanted, and I was right there on your menu.
Okay.
I don't care about the price. I just want that size.
Hey, what would you like?
And I said, I don't care right now.
Okay.
I said, I want the $3.19, and she went round and round. She said, the $3.29. I said, well, honey, it says $3.19. I just want that size, and she says it's $3.29. I said, fine. We went around. I said, you need to change your menu. And then I had also ordered a burger, and she said, you can leave now. I swear to God, that's what she said. Now, I said, are you the manager? And she just said, you can leave now. I said, can I talk to your manager? She told me to leave. Now, I want to see your manager or whoever's in charge, and I want the number of your corporate office, and I want that young lady's name. You're being recorded.
You're not supposed to be recording us.
What's her name? Gotcha.
She knew she was in the wrong because walking up there with a half-assed grin on her face like a little chessy cat. You're not supposed to be recording us. Well, yeah. Especially when you're doing something stupid, right? Anyhow, hey, folks, another unbelievable week in the world, and that not necessarily just here in the good old U.S. of A. There's things going on absolutely every place. But anyhow, hey, I hope I gave you a little bit of reason to smile. I hope I lightened up your Wednesday evening just a tad bit. And I hope you have a fantastic upcoming weekend. You stay safe and you stay cool. And until next week, folks, I'll holla and we are out of here. See ya.
I distract and divert, beguile and subvert, be playful or flirt. I always promise the press I got dirt, keeps my enemies alert, chaos my dessert. When I see lots of news on Epstein, a me-stopping teen, stories on my ween, I get up on the roof where I can be seen on a million screens just to make a big scene. I'm the diddler on the roof, erasing all the proof. You say it's uncouth, I swear it's the truth. When people say I'm on the Epstein list, I'll always insist it may or may not exist. I'll just name the Clintons, they're always pissed. Obama in a pinch or Joe Biden, he's not missed. They claim I covered up all of my tracks, my flights there and back, the parties in his flack, our fights over minors, the girls and their attacks, or bites on their back, but the proof they do lack. I'm the diddler on the roof, erasing all the proof. You say it's uncouth, I swear it's the truth. So I shout and holler way up on high, looking down from the sky, 1,000 alibis, and you ask me about the Epstein files. Never heard of him, I lied, never knew the guy. But keep in mind, it's all part of my big plan. Distract while I can like a showbiz man, with a Bible in my hand and a spray on tan. I'll gaslight the land like only I can. I'm the diddler on the roof. I'm the diddler, still dancing, still aloof. And here's my spoon. I deny it all. Now that's my truth.
What's going on? This is Wacko Willie down at Weapons World and Ammo Unlimited, telling you to listen to the Queen Service Show. Yeah, if you come in and mention the Queen Service Show this weekend, we'll throw in 3 high-capacity clips with your new assault weapon. That's right, 3 high-capacity clips. You're gonna love it. Shoot. Anyhow, don't forget, Wacko Willie tells you, Weapons World and Ammo Unlimited.